lovelies. It's been 5 days since I did my last video, and I've got an iPod since then, so my videos are a little more high quality. A little. Since my whole page, my Facebook page, my Tumblr, my Twitter, all this It Gets Better stuff is revolved around cutting and self-injury and suicide, and I haven't yet done a video on it for some crazy reason. I don't know why, but I feel like I should cover it because I've been having a lot of trouble lately trying to get over it. I'm in recovery, and I almost had a relapse yesterday, but I didn't because I have people who really care about me, and I feel like if I'm hurting myself, I'm going to hurt them, and by hurting them, I'm going to hurt myself again, and then I'm just going to be in an awful cycle of hurting myself. But I think it's 11 days. 11 days recovered. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. I cleaned my room the other day, and I found a piece of broken glass, and I stared at it for the longest time, because all I wanted to do was use it, and there's this box cutter that's at my work, and it's right outside of the freezer, and it's always right there. It's a lime green box cutter, and I go into the freezer multiple times during the day, and it just makes me want to so bad. Every time I see it, I just want to grab it because I'm so stressed out at work as it is. I have a lot of trouble with what I do because I have to do cash, I have to fill up the buffet because I work at Ponderosa. I have to bake stuff if I come in the morning, and most of the time I don't get all my baking done until, hold on a sec. I don't get most of my baking done until probably around 4 or 5, and I'm supposed to have it done by then. And then John gets upset with me, and then I think I'm going to lose my job, and it stresses me out to no end, and it just... it freaks me out, and I love everyone at that work. Like, they make me feel so great, and I met my boyfriend at Ponderosa when I was working, and just my manager has a way of making me feel really, really worthless, and like I can't do anything right, and almost every time that I go, I come home wanting to cut. That's all anytime I go to work, that's basically the only time nowadays that I have a trigger. If I'm up late, it's a trigger, but if I go to work, it's always, as soon as I get home, that's what I do. And this past week, I've been working afternoons, so I've had a different manager, but, like, ever since my wounds on my hips have healed, like, if you can see this stuff. It's my butterfly. I drew a butterfly for it, so, my wounds are healed right there. I had a whole bunch of cuts there that said failure and stuff like that, and they've healed, so it went away, and I thought it was easy at first because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna quit. There's this Anon on my Tumblr who really built me up and made me want to stop, so I did, and then the first 6 days I'm like, this is so easy, I'm just gonna stop. And then my wounds healed, and I'm like freaking out because now I can't just press on them because they'd still hurt after a few days, and then after they're gone I don't have anything there, and I want to do it again. These past 3 days have probably been the worst. Almost every day I've contemplated it, and the only reason I'm not is because my best friend, I feel like if I do it again, she's going to do it again. And I've been making butterflies for her every day. I've been drawing them and sending her to them through text, and it does get better, I promise. It doesn't seem like it's getting better for me, and I'm sure you're not thinking that it is, you're like, well, she's telling me it's supposed to get better, but she doesn't look too great. I'm sure it does. It does. It has to. I mean, you can't just stay in a bad place for that long. So it gets better. You just have to get past the hard part, which is right after the cuts fade. And you have to find the reason. There's people have reasons. They say it's not good for me. It's not something I want to have to hide forever. You need an even deeper reason. The reason that every time you want to cut, it pops into your mind. Like, if you can't think of a reason, and you can't think of anyone who cares about you, think about me. You know that the only thing I want out of life is two things. I want this It Gets Better thing to take off. I want it to become a non-profit foundation that everyone sees my face and they're like, that's the suicide girl. That's the one who stopped a whole bunch of suicides and stopped a bunch of self-injury. I want them to know me as that. And the second thing is I want to become a musician, and I'm going to write music that inspires, and it's all I want. But first I have to heal myself or just be a hypocrite. But I really, really want you to quit. I want me to quit. I want everyone to. And if you have any ideas or methods, you need to tell me. I can put them on my Tumblr. I have friends who will repost them to everyone. I'll put them on Twitter. I'll put them pretty much anywhere, just to tell people. Like, I started doing my butterflies with people's names in the middle and quotes, and you just need to start by throwing away all your tools, air quotes, hold on. I'm trying to choose a song. This is hardcore stuff. Time to dance. Sorry, I'm a crazy face. Yeah. Well, you have to throw away everything first, because if you can get to it, you will do it. At first, the first time I tried to stop, I kept all my stuff because I'm like, maybe I want to go back to it. Well, the whole point of this is not to go back to it. And I busted razor blades out of shaving razors and spare ones from X-Acto knives, and I had those everywhere, and I kept them, and I just went back to it. Like, I would be clean for 10 days and then I'd stop, because I'd have it. But now I'm up to 11 or 12 days, and it's harder when you don't have anything on hand. There's knives in the kitchen and everything, but if I left the kitchen with a knife, my parents would see, obviously. And I have that piece of glass, which I haven't gotten rid of. I need to go get rid of that, because right now it's the only sharp thing I have in my room. I've gotten rid of all my razor blades and stuff because of it. You need, stop looking at the cuts, because you'll remember how great it is and how it made you feel better if you just keep looking at it, because that's where the satisfaction comes from. Avoid your triggers. I couldn't avoid my triggers since I work with my trigger, but if your trigger is a person that you can avoid or a thing you can avoid, try to. I know that sounds really stupid, I don't know what I'm talking about, because I know you can't really avoid a trigger, but if it is something you can get away from, if you go to someone's house that you have a choice from, or if you see somewhere a lot, then don't go there. I'm trying to think of other things that help. Sometimes music is a trigger. I have certain songs that are triggers for me. Some Green Day songs and some ska punk songs that my ex-boyfriend used to listen to. I can't hear those without crying anymore, because I call it the incident. It wasn't an accident in the fucking least, but I call it the incident because I don't like calling it the rape. So, if there's songs that remind you of your original trigger, what made you start, don't listen to them. feel free to talk to someone. There's always someone who will talk to you. If you make a Tumblr and just look up self-injury, you can find someone whose page is devoted to self-injury, and chances are they will not know you, and you can go anon and ask them a question or tell them something and be like, try to get it off your chest, because a lot of times if you just get it off your chest and you can talk to someone, you know that you're not just the one freak in the world. Everyone else is just as fucking crazy as you are, so stay strong, lovelies, and I really don't know how to go any further with this. I'll probably make a second one because I didn't really plan this one. I actually just kind of just turned on my iPod and started recording. I didn't even know what I was going to say when I started this, so I'm going to make a second video that's a little more in depth and actually planned out. Usually my page ones were planned, but this one was not. I really need to go further in depth with this. Gosh, I'm going to make a second video right now, and I'm posting a second video. Part 2 is going up 30 seconds after this one. I love you all, lovelies. Bye.